So if you're expecting to see a mountain video today, I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. I decided to make a video from a trip I made just a few days ago after all the snow had fallen. It's been a really snowy spell here in Scotland with Siberian winds blowing in, a lot of snow, and there's been a lot of blizzards across Scotland, right through the central belt and over the eastern side of the country. And I had to go down to Fife to visit some relatives and get some supplies down to them. And I hadn't planned on making the video, but I had my dash cam on and videoed the footage down. And when I got down there, I had all my mountain gear in the car anyway from the previous weekend, and I decided to go for a walk down to try and capture some nice pictures because it was quite unusual weather. It was pretty wild. And as I said, I wasn't planning on making a video, so some of the footage is all taken with the GoPro. I didn't have my Sony camera with me, so here is the video of my trip down. And yeah, as I said, some things are in common with the mountains, i.e. the weather and the gear, but this is essentially just a wee trip of how the weather affected the East Neuk of Fife. So although the main sort of snow had stopped falling out of the sky, the main issue was with drifting. There was strong easterly winds hitting Fife, and I decided to play it safe, and I'd headed along the main motorway to Dundee before heading south towards St Andrews. The first road was actually closed between St Andrews and Anstruther, and I headed down onto the coastal route. The fields were pretty well scoured, but the amount of snow that had blown into the roads was impressive, and on numerous occasions I had to get out and help push other cars along the road. I was following a 4x4, and luckily the car I was in was an all-wheel drive vehicle with winter tyres, and it certainly made a difference. By the time I was just about at Ely, there was diggers and JCBs actually shoveling and digging the snow out of places. It was that deep, with some cars submerged which had been abandoned during the previous days. It's not often you see the main road through these coastal towns covered in so much snow. It was quite unusual, and yeah, I was looking forward to a short walk down to the coast. I had my full winter gear on because it was feeling like I was on top of the mountain. It was an icy wind, and the spindrift was spinning up and hitting me in the face. In places there was drifts over a metre deep, and I reckon it'll take them some time to dig this snow out to clear the road. You might think I'm in Arctic Norway or Iceland, but I'm not. The jaws of the beast pay the east, and another weekend is upon us. I had to come down here. I didn't really have any option, but I'll come down, I'll go for a walk. Usually a nice summer walk, and it is wild. This is a walk I've done hundreds of times. I think it's probably the first time I've done it with any snow on the ground. There wasn't too much right down at the coast, but I headed towards the lighthouse, and the storm that was pushing the sea towards it was, was giving some nice scenes with the waves crashing over the rocks and what have you. It was an impressive sea, not one I'd fancy being out in, that's for sure. So I stopped and tried to get some photos of the lighthouse with the darkening clouds and the storm raging around it. After taking a few photographs at the lighthouse, I headed across to the Ladies' Tower, which, as the story goes, was a tower for Lady Anstruther, She used to use it to go for her afternoon swim. There's a small cave underneath it where she apparently got changed, and one of her servants would go around the surrounding area ringing a bell to warn the locals not to come close. But a funny feeling she wouldn't be swimming in conditions like this, that's for sure. So anyway, I stopped, and yeah, it was really quite atmospheric as the waves crashed against the cliffs round about the tower. They were it was producing some sea spray right across the front. I daren't go any closer, I didn't want to get soaked, but yeah, I stopped about 150 metres away to take some photos. It was certainly wild, and I must admit, I was getting pretty cold with that wind. So I soon headed back up the road, which was, well, just covered in lots of snow. And then the dry foam was interesting. There was a few blocked roads and I had to retreat. But the snow gritters had done a good job on the roads they'd got to, and there hadn't been any abandoned cars. And yeah, it was an eventful trip back into Perthshire. Not often you see the East Neuk of Fife like this.